Hello guys, it's me CriticalCubing, and today I'm going to compare the new, lighter, faster and stronger GAN Air to the Weilong GTS, which is the main of many cubers. Just like the last time, as this is a no-nonsense comparison, I won't be actually rating the cubes like 9 out of 10, 19 out of 20, etc. as these ratings are highly biased and not representative of the actual performance at all. Lastly, the things I'll be talking here would be kind of like a summary, so do take a look at reviews on them before making a decision on buying them. Let's get started. The GAN Air is the latest cube by Gans, which features a revolutionary new GES spring system. Weilong GTS, on the other hand, is a simple cube having simple mechanism for the spring system. Both the cubes are 56mm, but there is a huge difference between their price tag. The GAN Air costs roughly $24, whereas the GTS costs roughly $16. People on the budget will definitely want to get the GTS over the Gans Air. In the price section, GTS wins quite easily. The weight of the Air is light and roughly 70 grams. GTS is a bit more heavier than that and is considered a medium weighted 3x3. The feel of the Air hasn't changed much from the previous version too. However, the tracks on the pieces have been flattened out, so the Air does feel a bit more smoother. The Air is also very quiet cube and is ideal for classroom situations. GTS on the other hand is scratchy and loud, similar to Fangshi cubes. Both the cubes are fast turning cubes. In the feel category, I actually like the feel of the Air more than the GTS, as it's smooth and quiet and it makes me solve calmly and not exceptionally fast. And I use the Gans version 2 as my main previously because I like the smooth feel. Now the turning. The turning of the Air is smooth, quiet and fast. The turning of the GTS is scratchy, fast and loud. One thing to note here is that the GTS is faster than the Air. For this turning category, subjectively speaking, the GAN Air again wins it because as the cube is a bit slower than the GTS, I am able to look ahead more smoothly and I am able to control it much more better than the GTS. However, from what I have seen during solves, I enjoy the turning of the GTS more, and as a reason for this turning category, the GTS wins it. Although I like the Air's turning, I enjoy the turning of the GTS more and it gives me better performance too, so GTS wins this round. Next is the corner cutting. Corner cutting of both of these cubes is nearly identical and there isn't much difference between them while solving. Even during testing, the corner cutting of these two isn't different from each other, and hence this segment is a tie as both of them are practically equal and I don't feel a difference while solving. Stability. Okay, here is where things get interesting. Generally, when I am selecting my main, I mainly look into the turning and stability. I can get used to the feel, but I cannot get used to the other two. And GAN Air is a very stable cube and is more stable than the GTS. Weilong GTS on the other hand can get unstable for me sometimes, but that doesn't happen to the Air and hence the Air wins the stability round. Now I will go over some of the minor factors. M slices are actually better on the GTS, and as a reason, whenever I am using RU, I use the GTS over the Air. The GES spring mechanism is something I didn't like as it makes the setting up process complex, and honestly I like simplifying things. As a result, I didn't like this new system. I like the GTS mechanism more, so this round goes to the GTS. I would say that the lockups on both of these is similar and the difference isn't that huge. However, the Air does lock up less for me, and as a reason the Air wins this round. With the new GES spring system, the screw can sometimes get jammed in and it's quite a pain to get the jammed screw out. I don't have this problem with the GTS, so I would like to hand this round over to the GTS. Corner twisting and popping. Popping is non-existent on both of these cubes. However, the Air has never given me a twisted corner. The GTS has given me corner twist, but it's not that often. The Air does handle corner twisting better than the GTS. Lube consumption. This round is definitely won by the GTS hands down. I have not lubed my GTS in roughly over 2 months and it still gives me good times. I have been using the Air for a month now and have already lubed it 2 times. GTS is more efficient when it comes to lube consumption and GTS works good even when kept dry. If you remember Fangshi cubes, they work the best when they were relatively dry. The lubing process on the GTS is also better as it has a simple core unlike the Air which has this fancy core. I haven't mentioned the flaws category yet, right? The major flaw on the GTS for me was that it was flexy and unstable, and I didn't like that. The major flaw of the Air for me is definitely the spring system. I am contemplating to do a whole core and spring swap with the previous Gans version 2, as I like the spring mechanism of the previous Gans more. The GES spring system, although revolutionary, is not something that I like. Others may like it, but I don't like it that much. One minor flaw of the Air is that once you get a lockup and you try to force it, the pieces get dislocated and it gives you a floppy cube. Overall performance. For the overall performance, I have to give the Gans Air the win, as I enjoy using it more than the Weilong GTS. And overall, I like the performance of the Air more than the GTS. Now, which one do I like better? Personally for me, I am using the Air over the GTS these days as I like it better, but GTS is my backup main, so it's still in the game. Before making a final decision, you can try out the cube in a competition, which will help you form your own opinions instead of listening to me. Also be sure to watch my review video of these cubes and other people's reviews so you can get multiple opinions instead of just mine. In conclusion, the Air for me is a better cube and I like using it more, and hence in today's cube comparison, the Air is crowned the winner. This isn't a huge win for the Air, as the GTS is just a tiny negligible bit behind. Thank you for watching this video guys. Next comparison will be GTS versus Air versus Valve 3. So do take a look at it. Please leave a like as it helps me out, and also subscribe to see my latest content. I will see you next time. Bye.